South African, number one. Not unless you put because I'm against Somala, Kambamang, no, that one, the police. Yeah, not unless unama document. I want to who was attended who like South Africa. Yeah, not unless unama document. I show you who attended. Mina in a lunga lolubala Africa.
Apartheid eventually came to an end, and so will illegal immigration of illegal foreigners in South Africa. There's a Nigerian lady here on TikTok that said when she was working in China teaching English, she started declaring and calling herself a South African rather than a Nigerian. Because whenever she told people that she was a Nigerian, people looked at her funny. They started treating her otherwise. They started asking her about Boko Haram, the Chibok girls, etc., etc. But as soon as she said she's a South African, they welcomed her. Oh, Nelson Mandela. There is a Nigerian man that was caught in London by the immigration officers that was asked, why are you not using your Nigerian passport? Why are you using a South African passport to get through to London? Why did you not take a flight from Nigeria to London? Why did you take a flight from South Africa to London? He couldn't answer. He started pissing himself. There is a Nigerian family in Ireland that was recently deported back to South Africa because when they got through to Ireland, they'd used a South African passport, which I imagine was acquired which their passport was acquired through illegal activities. They were deported back to South Africa, even though they are not South African. But they claimed in Ireland that they are South Africans. There is a Zimbabwean rapist, Love Dube, that was recently deported from Ireland to South Africa because they got through Ireland using a South African passport. And they were claiming that they are South Africans. And then in Eddington Primary School, you find a Congolese man asking what's so special about being a South African. In East London recently, there is an Igbo Nigerian king that was recently inaugurated. How do you crown a king in foreign lands? Mind you, Nigeria is almost twice the size of South Africa. So you leave all of these lands in Nigeria and cross all these African countries and want to start a community here that's similar to the Indian community. It's very condescending and very disrespectful. Just to clarify on that, around the 1960s, I stand to be corrected with the year, this was during the apartheid regime, Malaysian and Indian slaves were brought into South Africa unwillingly to work in the sugarcane plantations. They were raped. The working conditions were very hostile. They were beaten. They were tortured. And that's how those communities started. They didn't just wake up and decide that, no, today I'm going to take a flight willingly, cross all the countries and land in South Africa and start a kingdom there. But today we have an Igbo king that's in East London, and the people want to start, in their own words, want to start their own communities like the Indians in South Africa. That is very low. That is very disrespectful and condescending. You are disrespecting not only the Indians, you are disrespecting the Xhosas, and you're disrespecting the South African culture and history in its entirety. South Africans are known to be peaceful and loving. But that does not mean that you guys should walk all over them. Apartheid came to an end, and so will illegal immigrants. There is a Nigerian pastor, I forgot his name, the one that wanted to buy Cape of Good Hope for $8 million. Not rands, dollars. And I am glad that the Western Cape actually rejected his offer on basis that that $8 million is more beneficial to Nigerians than South Africans. Do you know what $8 million could do in Nigeria? It could build infrastructures, schools, healthcare, employment. But no, I want to buy the Cape of Good Hope to start churches. Are South Africans going to die faster if they're not religious, if they don't have churches? When has religion ever benefited a country economically? There's many churches and mosques in Nigeria, but look at the economy and look at South Africa, look at China. When he was asked, why don't you want to uplift the economy of Nigeria? Why do you want to, as a Nigerian, come to South Africa and invest those funds here? No, I can't do that in Nigeria. Why? Because there's Boko Haram terrorists. Because there is law there. I kid you not, if all the Nigerians, especially the Igbos, if all of them could unite in their home country, they would overthrow those Boko Haram terrorists. The economy would be thriving. If they really are the giants of Africa, they must show and prove themselves as giants of Africa in positive light, not to be always known for nefarious activities. Because at this point, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are whatever in Nigeria, you're going to be treated poorly because of the name that certain individuals in your countries behave. At least if you're running away to foreign lands, at least respect the laws and the people and the cultures and the societies there. Don't just come and want to be a bully and not contribute to the economy. Everything eventually comes to an end. And you can't justify it with, we helped you guys during apartheid. Fine, even so, even if you guys helped us during apartheid, does that mean that now you must invade my home through the rooftop? No, come through the door. Respect me, respect another man's country. No, there's no foreigner in Africa. These borders were created by what. We want a borderless Africa. That borderless Africa somehow seems that the final destination for it is South Africa. And it's not going to work until each and everyone holds their own governments and their own crisis and issues in their own countries and resolve those issues. You can do better, guys. Come on.